Hello, Kelly.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm good. We're early today.
Yay!
Hello, Kelly.
Hello, how's it
Oh,
going?
okay. Now I don't have echo. How are you doing? I I saw you like 5 minutes ago, but
Well, lots changed in the last 5 minutes.
yeah. Did you build another deck?
I haven't built a deck in a long time. It's actually felt quite good.
So now you can have barbecues and all. Like, how many people fit in that deck?
Well, we can get probably about 7 or 8 on the sectional we have on it. And then there's probably another, there's 3 stools, plus you can fit some more chairs out there. I mean, we didn't rebuild it, we just refinished it. Rebuilding will happen in a couple years. We'll extend it out, make it look much larger.
Hmm.
Maybe even get a swim spa. That's my dream.
If you just joined us now, we have a new podcast called "Refinishing Decks" with Kelly and Gabe. Yeah, we're not making video games anymore. We're talking about decks and how to make things on them.
Yeah, how to get the best belt sander and spend a nice day in the sun
Yeah,
sanding your deck.
yeah. We're just waiting. Still 5 minutes to go, but we're just waiting more people to join.
What's
Meanwhile,
the
I'm just drawing a dragon.
Have you named the dragon yet?
No, any suggestions?
Oh, I don't know. Dragon McDragony.
Okay, keep going.
Flamey mouth guy.
I'm
Uh
watching like House of the Dragon, and the dragons always have like two kinds of names. One is like super like mythological,
like old Valyrian.
like Veraxes or something like that, and all of that. And the other ones are like super cute, like
Sea smoke
sea smoke and sea foam and
and killer,
ship
sheep
killer. Yeah,
eater.
yeah, that's probably not as cute.
I mean,
So
sea smoke is pretty.
this one is pretty. So it should be something like I don't know, wildflowers of the meadow.
Flaming tulip.
Yeah, that's good. Flaming tulip. That's good.
There we go. I feel like that's a very fearsome dragon name.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
This is going to be another one added to the list of companions.
No, I'm just trying for fun. I love to have dragons in the game. I actually there's one design that I did some time ago about the business dragon guy,
Mm.
Brad. He's gonna be, I think, possibly the only dragon in the game. He is a dragon that keeps. You know how dragons have caves and stuff, and they keep treasure.
Yeah.
This one is keeping, like, after the world went to shit. He's keeping the treasure of NFTs and crypto coins. So he's basically sitting on a cave with lots of computers, a lot of servers full of crypto coins. Of course, you know the computers don't work anymore, so it's just futile.
Hoarding
Yeah,
motherboards.
it's hoarding like a something that has no value anymore. Uh, Social commentary, because it never had value. Uh,
Does he
Money,
wear a
man.
tie?
Huh?
Does he wear a tie?
Yeah, his scales like a black with some like nice white details that kind of look like he's wearing
Nice.
some kind of suit, business suit. And
Chris
his
has a
name is
toy
Brad.
with business dinosaurs on it. It's just 2 T-Rexes with coffee cups and ties.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
really wanted to, like, a long time ago. created this character called Ironic T-Rex. He's like a hipster T-Rex, right? And he likes to do air quotes with his tiny little arms like that. Yeah, like, oh, this is so cool, but nobody kind of gets it because his arms are so small. They don't know that he's being ironic.
I
So
just think he's using his hands to talk.
yeah, so maybe I can add this guy as one a companion to.
I feel like that'd be fun. You have to like negotiate with him.
It's called the IREX because it's ironic. Okay, let's bring everybody.
Here we go.
Hello, Greg.
Oh, we got to bring both Gregs.
In.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the voice Greg or the visual Greg?
We have both.
Oh, finally. Yay.
Greg doesn't know how to work technology, so
No.
he has to have two Gregs, one for audio and one for
Yeah.
video.
I'm not really a technology person. I'm more of a deck builder, which is why I'm here. Because
Yes, 'cause video games, right?
I'm leaving games.
Welcome to What If Decks.
Thanks. I got sidetracked now because you guys are talking about business dragon, and then I was kind of disappointed because I was imagining a dragon like in a business suit or something like that.
Yeah,
And
but
you
that's
said,
what it is.
oh, he's in a business suit, like he actually
Yeah,
has
he's-
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
okay.
Like he has a tie, but I wanted to make it natural. So
Tie. He's got tie.
he has an appendage that looks like a tie, right?
Well, I'm okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he looks like he's in a suit and he's keeping all the crypto coins in servers in his cave.
Okay.
He's the
You get hit by the tie, do you get turned into an NFT?
Yeah. So
That's kinda cool.
Let me see. Yeah, that's his.
That'll be your challenge next, Greg. Make that work.
I'll do it. I'll do that. I'll make a boss fight out of anything. That's fantastic. Right now I'm using an AI generated thing to draw a business dragon because I can't draw myself.
Don't need to. I have it right here.
Oh no, these are atrocious. Sorry.
Yeah. No AI.
No AI. No,
No AI is allowed.
I didn't share it. I just wanted to Google it.
There you go. That's the concept. So.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, he keeps this mountain of servers full of useless riches, and he has a little tie right here, and little flaps that look like he just folded his sleeves
like a collar. Or I see. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring more people. Pedro, how are you?
Hey guys, good.
Pedro.
Long time no see.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the weather in Brazil?
Good.
The whole of Brazil. Can you tell me like
all
the weathers in all different regions now, please?
The town.
I'm just really lazy, so
okay.
Yeah, here it's good. Some places it's probably bad, probably worse.
Man, you'll be a great weather guy on TV.
Yeah.
It's hot, but it could be cold. Just go out.
Sun's up there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. There is some places that are like burning with wildfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like up here.
Is there a Game of Thrones reference?
No.
The wildfire? It's because
it's actually it's actually happening.
Okay.
It actually
it actually exists. It's real life.
Yeah.
In Canada, the same thing. BC is on fire. You know that song? Okay, we have a guest today because we will always want to have more people in the live than watching the live. That's our goal. So the more people join, the more people gonna invite. So we get that balance. Hello, Alberto. How are you?
Hello everyone. Good to know that I'm just here for the numbers. That was for the quota of having more people in the live, but
exactly,
pretty much.
And we're going on alphabetical order. So A.
Yeah, I was the first one. Yeah.
Next is Bob. Yeah, how you doing? It's been a while. Alberto, if you don't know, He was one of the lead designers for Akabam. Specifically, he worked in Contest of Champions, but specifically worked together quite closely on Realm of Champions, the game that never was. For other reference for House of the Dragon.
I mean, he was for a little bit, but yeah.
He was, and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
But if you title the game that was, then wasn't, then almost was. It's kind of long, so. But anyway, he did a lot of the. I consider some of the best stuff that we wanted to have in that game, and for some reason we couldn't, or we didn't have time to do it. But the game that he started to build was the game that I really wanted to see. And for many reasons it wasn't. So yeah, we're very happy that you're here. How's things in Ontario?
Things are good, man. I was asking for the weather in Brazil. Like the weather in Ontario is actually surprisingly better than Vancouver. Well, I don't know if that's saying much, but
no, the weather is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, better house, and it's colder, or
it's sunny here, which is all that I ask. Like I don't care if it's cold or not, as long as it's not just like constantly raining. I can barbecue outside even if it's snowing. So that's I basically barbecue 6 times a day, 6 times a week. 6 times a day would be perfect, but 6 times a week.
Oh my god! Like you killed all the biodiversity. And
yeah, I know. You are Brazilian.
I'm looking for animals to barbecue. Yeah. I only barbecue 4 times today. I need squirrels.
I do like one piece of. There's a lot of squirrels here, man.
There are a lot of squirrels and pigeons.
I don't have I mean, there is here we have. I don't know. I tell myself that they're doves, but they might be pigeons. I don't know.
They're pigeons.
They're like urban doves, so I don't. They look like pigeons to me. They move like pigeons. My wife insists that they're doves. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go with that illusion because it's better to have a bunch of doves in your front yard than pigeons.
Yeah, we used to live in Toronto, and we had 2 pigeons move in on our patio under my barbecue and build a nest. And I felt sad for them. It was getting cold. It was winter time, so I thought, you know what? Let's let them stay there. Let's let them stay there for winter. Everything's fine. By the time the spring came, my entire patio was covered in feathers and pigeon crap, and
and now you're ruthless with them.
Right? Now I hate pigeons. Well, the pigeon babies were pretty cute. I won't lie about that. So.
So what do you have in your behind? Sorry, Alberto. What do you have behind you there? Is that like Mario stuff? I just like
a bunch of stuff. I have a giant Galactus here.
Oh, that's the one. That's it from Sideshow.
No, there's not the Sideshow one. This is an older one.
Okay.
But it's not like the Sideshow. I think is just the top half of Galactus. But I have someone.
No, the Sideshow one is the big one that has the silver.
Yeah. But someone at Kabam had this exact one, but in a different color. I don't know who was it. It's probably sit right in front of you guys, so like you should know because I think it was one of the artists. But I had one of those in the office. I have a bunch of old school Marvel stuff here. Some more Marvel characters like a Juggernauts over here. Some Mario, Stardew Valley board game. A bunch of like books, so people think that I read and stuff. Those are all the Funko Pops from Power Rangers and a Megazord because I'm working on a Power Rangers game now, so I'm getting into
How's
Power
that?
Rangers thing.
Good.
I like it's like it reminds me a lot of Contest of Champions, right? Because it's like again IP fighting game 1v1 type of thing, but it's PvP. It's not against the computer. It's actually
That's what everybody at contest wanted to do, but it was really hard.
Yeah, but it's fundamentally very different, right? I think there's so many cool things like that were done in contests that you would not be able to do if it was actual PvP. So people
makes sense.
It's like, and also like it's way more stressful. Like I love playing the Power Rangers game, but there's just so much PvP I can do in a day. Like before my heart's pounding, and I'm like,
right. Yeah, we found out like that there's a lot of people that get very intimidated by playing with others, and they wouldn't go deep into the game because they are afraid of competition, or not afraid, but like they they prefer their games to be a bit more casual and relaxed. And when you introduce another person on the other side, it becomes something like I don't want to fail kind of thing. So there are a lot of people didn't do it.
Yeah, it's like Realm had a bit of that also. Like it was like very stressful to play, right? It's like
It was. Yeah.
There's just so many matches you can do in a day before you're like, okay, I'm sweating here, like I need to drop this thing. Like
Yeah.
so.
If you had to like change one thing, I know there's a lot of things, but if you had to change one thing about Realm to make that game a big success, what would that be?
Greg.
I was going to say.
Immediately.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I
was like,
knew that was coming.
Yeah, and then just let things, things takes its flow, and then it would work out. Like, but if you have to change anything else,
I am the source of all the problems on that game. I agree.
Yeah.
I know.
I would say games in general. I'm pretty sure, like all the layoffs. I'm pretty sure someone connected to you as well. Like I don't know how yet.
Like all the studios have actually left over the years. Every time I leave, it goes under. It's like a curse. Yeah.
Yeah. But if we change one thing, like if we're going like chronologically, right? I would say like our original sin, which is the one that I would have tried to fix, and I think would have changed the direction of the game considerably, was not having the game being like one house versus the other every battle, right? It's like it should have been 3 Hulks versus 3 Spider-Mans.
Yes.
And then 3 Iron Mans versus 3 Black Panthers. Like I thought that was such a strong and unique part of the original vision that we ended up not doing. And the game would have taken a completely different direction if we did stick to that. That would probably be like the first thing. Like if I could change anything, I would just put territory control in that game. Like, that's the one thing that I would want to see that.
I agree. I agree 100%. Greg should go.
Yeah.
Oh, same question.
Well, I mean, I remember when we had the in the studio, we did that spreadsheet territory control game, and like everybody was yelling at each other over their desks. Like it was so much fun.
That was Alberto, right? You created that, right?
Yeah.
Well, and Dan Stovall, right? He actually like did the back ending and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I designed the whole thing, and then
it was super good. We love when people start getting competitive. That day, nobody worked. It was
none of us did. It was all focused on that.
Yeah, I was told they couldn't outrun another one, right? Because of it, because of like the people on contest or like no one's paying attention. Like it was just like a super unproductive day. The company.
The company lost like millions of dollars. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Friday afternoons.
What's funny though is the company failed to realize at that point that if that kind of a game gets all these people excited, we should probably make that game. So.
Yeah. It's like how much. I don't know. Like, what sign do you need that this should be the direction, right? It's like we did a test. Everyone loved it to the point that no one worked, and it should be like maybe this is what we should be building, right? But yeah, the problem sometimes I think of like the game was so big, the structure was so big, we had so many people working at the same time. Everything was so hard to
maneuver. Yeah.
To maneuver, yeah. And we couldn't just react fast enough. But
that's why we're here with 3 people.
Yeah, but we still have Greg though.
Oh yeah, and Greg.
But I'm still here. The company won't fail until I leave. That's my gift and also my curse.
Okay, so nobody's here. Should we still play the game or?
Wait a minute for people to show up.
Yeah. Okay.
We can just banter. This is fun. If no one's here, we can just talk about stuff.
I want to see stuff.
I mean, people might want to watch the recording after too, because it's summertime.
For sure, yeah. And we should do gameplay at some point. Just sometimes when people show up, they're like, "Oh, did I miss the gameplay?"
Yeah.
Sometimes, but occasionally.
Well, like, yeah, no. I kind of want to punish people for not being here.
Because that's how we build a community.
Yes.
Punishing
everybody.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we can start playing.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I know I'm gonna fail so many times.
Probably. You'll probably break the game in a way I can try to fix, and we can do a second play in in a half hour.
By the way, I reduced the distance of that pillar.
Oh, okay. Whew. All right, yeah, sure.
I
Okay.
did reduce that distance because of 10 times I tried to jump that pillar,
Yeah.
I failed 8. And I was trying to get to the other side to fix something without moving the player start.
Did you keep jumping, like, did you keep falling short or jumping to the left or right of it?
No, I have this problem with platformers. They're like, I jump and I try to adjust my position to
Right.
be exactly in the middle of the platform.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do that and I just push myself down. Like,
Are you one of those people that always like lands and runs back and then
yeah,
falls? Like
yeah.
like there's I don't understand. This is a phenomenon. You watch people play like Mario, whatever. Like people land and then run back and fall.
It's
They're
because you
trying to.
think you're gonna fall forward. Like you want to be exactly
Yeah,
at
so
the
then you like
center.
hit the back button and you're like, no. Oh, I do that.
The problem with this pillar is
do
that it was a time challenge too. So because you have to jump and jump away from it because the pillar is gonna crumble. So you know, it add the stress because I wanted to do that, adjust myself for the next jump, and then the pillar will fall. so, but I have the power to move the obstacles.
The game's just making it easier for him.
Yeah, don't make it too easy.
Yeah.
You can always put it back.
Okay, so I'll load it, and
Yeah.
we can just
We
play.
can talk through. And Alberto, you can ask burning design questions and criticize my decisions and
I will. Don't worry.
please do. Yeah, I can't wait. That's why you're here, really.
Yeah.
For comedic relief and put Greg in his place.
If I'm not crying by the end of the stream, then you haven't done your job properly.
You will, Greg. You will.
You will. Okay. Okay, so I need to share something.
The screen will be good.
Remember to Kinshft forward and backwards right away, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine. Okay, so just. Okay.
So Alberto, you've probably watched every single bit of these streams and know everything. So what do you know about Kinshft so far?
He did his homework.
Did he? It's a match stream.
Yeah, I know. But did you guys change anything in terms of like I don't know the story setting or anything like that?
No, it's
all the same. Just giving you a hard time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know everything about the game except whatever Greg built on the past 3 months. So I know everything about the game basically.
So all the bad stuff you're going to see today. All right, that's cool.
So Nova, this section of the game is just this what we call the prototype light. You know, like it's just one scene where Nova needs to go through a bunch of puzzles, fight different enemies, and get to a big objective. There's a boss fight in the end. We're still building that, so it's just a piece of it that is here right now. There's music too.
We're trying to showcase sort of Nova's gameplay, Nova's mechanics, and what's possible. Just kind of sort of show what we have planned and also potential for what these mechanics could do in the future.
Look, Greg put this giant jump here. I have to.
You didn't go interact with the door? You didn't check the front door?
No, I'll play again. I just want to.
All right.
I'm just walking around.
Did you guys switch to Unreal?
We did.
Yeah.
About 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. So all this has been rebuilt from scratch.
Yeah. Okay. What did I do? I stopped playing.
I don't know.
I just want to remove that music because you guys are talking and is.
Yeah, originally we were in Unity, but when the game first started, the thought was it might be like a 2D, like a 2D art, not 3D art. And there's a lot of like discussions that went on, so we kind of stuck with Unity. And then recently we realized that Unreal is definitely the better way to go. And when I realized how easy it was to get, how difficult it was, but luckily for me, being so talented, easy to get things in the game, we switched to Unreal. It's been great. And no, Unreal's been like awesome. for everything.
Okay, can you see it now? Good.
Yep.
So yeah, so Nova is entering this area which we call Robocore, and she's wearing this cape. This cape is a QR cape. The idea is that it confuses the robots that she's gonna meet. Every time they look at the cape, they get a bit confused to what they're seeing. It's like when you poison the well, you try to do it. You try not to have your drawing become an AI thing, and you poison the well and you scramble the pixels. So that's what she's doing. So for most robots, she can walk through them and they won't see her, or they will see like just something that weird that they can't identify. So this is the gate for the village. It's closed right now, so I know because I already played the game. I buzzed the intercom to the robot. Something's gonna happen. There'll be a scene here. The guy's gonna say, "Hey, workers only. This is not for humies or whatever." And then he's gonna send a bunch of, or at least one bodyguard or robo guard.
One guard dog.
Yeah, it's not. This part's not working yet, but
Are you supposed to fight the guard?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a just for the purpose because we're building this thing first. It's more of like a warm up for the drone. Let the player use it. It's not gonna do a ton of damage. It's more just to showcase what she can do.
Yeah, the little doggy door opens and.
Why are they sending guards if we're still outside? Like you didn't commit any.
Well, you're still trespassing.
Preemptive strike.
Well,
yeah.
What do you know about robo law?
I know that's true.
So yeah, they a little bit of a taste, or using the drone. She has a drone. You know about the weapon that she has. She has this drone that she can attach to metallic things, and she can send it, and it floats. So in the game, as you progress, you're gonna be using this drone for lots of different things: misdirection, to track things, to paralyze robots sometimes with a little bit of a EMP. So this drone supposed to have a lot of different abilities. But for now, the only ability is you can attach to metal things and make them, gears and stuff, and make them move.
Yeah, think of a cross between like Captain America's shield and the disc from Tron. It's kind of the idea, but it's also magnetic, which you'll see shortly how it works.
So, can I just jump down this?
You can try.
Or you wanna?
No, you jump down, please.
Yeah.
Experiment, play.
No, because I don't lose. If I lose, I know I have only 5 hearts. So.
You do only have 5 hearts. It's true.
Look at the box.
Nice. Break the box.
Break it.
There you go. But there's nothing inside.
No.
I know there's hidden places everywhere in the world and things to discover, and we're starting to populate those a little bit. So if you go here, nice. there's a hidden room, and one of the collectibles in the game is LP covers that the robots collect. The robots love human music, and so they collect a bunch of. I've been making a lot of fake album covers from different artists, but they like the stuff that is related to machines and robots. So there's a bunch of.
I was gonna say this is just Gabe being angry at AI and being like, because
yeah,
robots were never going to be able to make music or art like humans, so we collect them.
Yes, that's basically the whole. I think that the best feeling for an artist to create great things is spite. It makes you really creative. So you have to have something to hate. So right now I use my drone to, move the gear, to move the little bridge. And now here's the damned.
Oh, you totally.
See how small it is, and I'm still gonna fail.
Yeah.
See?
That was pretty sad.
Man.
Because I want to land exactly at the middle. Anyway, be patient with me. In a way, I'm the perfect player. I fail at everything. So
Yeah.
That's not the perfect player.
Yeah.
When we get back to it, Ken R3D had a question of how the jump to Unreal go.
Oh, I just saw that. Yeah, Ken, did you hear us saying to Alberto earlier? Did that answer your question, or I could always give more info.
sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I love it. Like most of the time, I love it, but sometimes I just like, oh my god, I was used to do that in Unity, and I don't know how to do this. So there was a lot of learning. But every time things work in Unreal, they really take it to the next level. Especially, I'll say the visuals, but I'm pretty sure Greg is happy with it too, right?
Oh yeah, like I guess I got used to Unity because we were working at Kabam on it, and like with Unity, it was like you sort of knew something was supposed to be done a certain way, but Unity didn't do it properly, so you had to kind of find a way to work around it. Unreal's the opposite. It's like, no, there's an easier way to do that. Unreal's got it sorted, so you just kind of figure it out, and then it's super simple.
It's like Mac and PC, right?
Yeah.
See, now jump on the other side. Oh,
Overshot.
Okay.
My bones are broken. Keep
Today's
talking.
stream is just a jumping lesson with Gabe.
So originally, the reason that ledge that you were on was tapered at the end was to give you a jump point. Right now, it's kind of hard to find where you're supposed to jump from. So
No, I'm pretty sure I can do it next.
That's part of the reason you're having some difficulty. Well, that's part of the reason.
Can you jump from here?
You can try. Yeah, do it. Jump.
Jump from where?
Just fall down. Like jump down.
Cut the
shortcut. No.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
I broke the game again. Yes.
You did. You found a skip. Okay, I have to add that. If you fall from a certain height, you die, but Gabe managed to tag the ground. Okay.
He took some damage.
See?
It's not enough though. He should
have. He should have taken way more damage.
Well, when you open yourself to like exploration like that, now the character can jump anywhere. Those things are gonna happen, right? As long as it does something
I'll fix it. Don't worry, I'll fix it. I know how to fix that.
There's an altar here with some robot things that there's a robot Buddha there. Yeah. So okay. So this is the moment, like when we have everything finished, that when you come here, you see a ghost. It's the ghost of your mom and then you go talk to her, and that's when like a moment happened between the two of you. She will talk to you about this is the mission, right? You have to go to the Astrea, which is the ship that you arrived on Earth, and now it's crashed to this place in the middle of the Robo Village. And she says you have to go there. You will see the ship in her future is going to be basically sunk into this ocean, and you have to go in the past as Nova and reverse that, and basically isolate make the ship watertight. So in the future, the ship will be floating and not sunk into the bottom of this ocean. So that'll be the mission, and there'll be a lot of things between here and there, but that's where you get your marching orders. So can I jump here? Can I jump here? There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There's still some camera issues.
That's
gonna be a big task, but it's worth it when it's done.
She's getting there. And now I arrive here, which is... Can I break this thing here?
You could try.
Come on. It broke before.
The robot does not look friendly.
No.
He's not.
Everything that's red He's okay, though. I can just walk around him.
Yeah. He doesn't have a patrol path right now, so...
So I can...
Is he going to be patrolling?
Yeah, he'll be. So this will be actually the distraction stealth part of the game. So that tall grass you see, if you're in that tall grass, he can't see you. Nice and simple. Like you don't have to crouch or anything crazy. It's just if you're in tall grass, a la Brawl Stars, then he won't be able to see you. So you can use that. You can use the drone. and potentially an object to distract him. I think the idea was there's a boombox over there. You trigger the boombox, he'll go and he'll turn the boombox off. Or potentially you can open the gate and he'll go through the gate outside to see what's going on. You close the gate and he's stuck on the other side of the fence.
Hey,
what?
How are you? You can't see me. I have a cape.
Oh. You can't move, lucky for you. He's stuck in one spot.
So yeah, I'm just activating this thing. This is where the robots, if you see on the back there, is all glass because when the ship was is dark energy powered, and when the ship crashed, it generated this crazy effect that transformed the whole area into glass, the desert, and not any glass. It was some a special glass that has like properties, so it's very valuable in this world. And that's what the robots are doing. They're collecting this glass, polishing it, making those cubes to be used in different things. It's basically magic. So you see a lot of those blocks, and this is where they deliver the blocks to the caravans. Where you started the level is where the caravans leave to sell the blocks in the city, and so this is where the blocks are going.
Who did all the graffiti?
Huh?
Who did all the graffiti?
Me and Sophia. I stole some of her drawings too. But which is which? Who knows? So this thing doesn't work, so I have to do something. I need this block because I want to go down here. I know that because I played, but the game you probably have to discover it. Did I die?
Oh, nice.
Oh my god, I became like my bones broke, all of them. What's gonna happen? Start again. Oh my god.
Yep.
Greg, what did we learn about checkpoints?
Well, we learned that they're good to have in the game, but there's no checkpoint system right now. Well, there is a checkpoint system, but resetting the characters when there's two characters in the worlds is a little tricky. So I have not had a chance to do that for this stream, but seeing as some players will have difficulty with things like jumping, I will make that a priority for the next stream.
Some players, I don't know, man.
Some players, yeah, just the younger, hipper ones.
It's probably my controller. It's not very good.
It's always that controller.
Yeah, it's a Switch controller, right? And it's been calibrated for PlayStation. Okay, it's easy. Come on, easy. There you go.
There we go.
We'll do it every time now.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to my mom. Yeah, Mom, I know. Save the world. I'm gonna be like like a teenage, okay, Mom, I'll go save the world. It's in my list of chores. I was going to do it. Oh my god. Okay. Easy. Oh, bank shot.
Nice. Good shot.
Hello. It's funny how video games always look horribly broken as they progress. They more and more. You know what I mean? Like the more you progress in making a game, the more you break stuff, the more they look broken because in comparison to other stuff it feels more complete. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When it's all green block, it's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through this gate. looking at those guys are doing, they're basically sending blocks in that direction. Okay.
Mhm.
So what's the behavior here, Greg? Is like
Use the ladder.
No, how do I discover that I need that block? Do you
Okay. Well, so
do you
there's
want
obviously
to
there's a lot of functionality is the first thing you get in. The next thing you get is clarity, and we don't really have the clarity in here of what you need. But the idea is when you're looking through that crack in the door and you're seeing what the guard is doing, you can see, you can't really see now, that the block is actually on top of a sled. And again, right now it's a yellow cube on top of a brown cube, so it's kind of hard to see. But the notion there is that that guard also should be pulling a lever to have the block move from where it is in there onto the sled. So the
basically
idea
a
is,
cutscene.
just observation doesn't need to be a cutscene, but yeah, a sequence of there's something. It's on something. So,
Well, but I'll probably have to go this way first, right? I'll go here. And
yeah. I mean, the intention is to explore ladders. Yeah, ladders are. There you go. There, you're fine.
And then I go here and I say, hey, I cannot. This is too
Can't
high
go
to
that
go
way.
here. And now, and here it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I need something to. So I'll probably put something on the ground here to show that block goes here, kind of. I don't know. Yeah. I can't jump this, but I can throw my.
Are you playing on the Switch controller, or are you playing on keyboard, or are you playing on
Switch controller?
Something's going on with the drone.
Is it the Pro controller at least, or are you using a Joy-Con?
Pro, yeah.
There you go.
So now I can. There's an elevator here. I can do this. Okay. Now I see. Okay, that's how I do it. Should I get my drone back?
Sure.
Or yeah, I should. Right. Okay. So now this thing doesn't work still. There's a button here. Let's see. Oh, this thing opens, and there's a platform there, so I know what I have to do. Bring the platform.
Yeah.
Oh, but the gate's closed. I need something to hold the button. No. Maybe I can shoot my drone through this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can do it. There you go. Now I can move this platform.
Yeah, so we need a clear visual language for the objects in the world that your drone
What
can
if this
interact with.
doesn't move?
Pardon me?
Moving. It's not moving. Nope, not moving.
Okay.
Now it's moving.
There you go.
Yeah.
But whoa,
The drone has weak Wi-Fi. Let's look.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't moving before. Crazy.
Yeah, there you go. It's fine now.
Okay. And because I'm lazy, I'm gonna ride this thing too.
Do it.
Great. Every game has. Oh, nice. Every game has that. Not every game, but like it's so common in games, like the idea of like having the button to open something that you have to hold the button down, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? It's like where in life you have that it's like someone needs to be holding a button or a lever down in order for something to like.
Yeah, no, in real life that doesn't happen.
It's like that would be the equivalent. Like I don't know. I guess if you had someone pulling a rope to open something, and then like the person needs to be holding the rope, like. But it's just like such a prevalent mechanic in games for a bunch of reasons. But it's like, what is it an analog to? Like,
I think I crashed my drone.
You crashed your drone?
My drone was connected to the platform. Now I need it, and it's like.
You still have it? No, you still have it.
Where?
Just try and shoot it.
Oh, it's there. See? Something's going on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I have it.
Okay.
Now I know that I can.
Why are buttons prevalent in games?
That wasn't the question, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
oversimplifying my very well.
That's the question. I mean, yeah.
Right.
The magic carpet drone. Yes. We're gonna have a whole racing challenge when you can actually ride the
This block is
hover
really
slide around.
close too.
Um,
one block. Yeah, it's hard to control. I think we need to finesse this.
Yeah, there's something with your. I don't know if it's the Pro controller, but it works fine on PS4.
Oh, now it's the controller. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's the Switch controller is a problem. The button mapping is all weird too, which is really strange. I don't know why that is.
So I'm gonna
Why
shoot.
buttons? Good question. Right now it was in there because of weight. I just had it for it's Elden Ring has buttons on the elevators, right? Like you walk in a room, you stand on an elevator. There's a big button in the middle. It doesn't make any sense. You step on it and it lowers the elevator. It's just easier to do. The art originally, what was lowering and raising the platform was like a weighted sled, like a crane that was attached to it. You could use the crane, put the block on, and the weight of it would push the block down and raise something up. It's just easier and cheaper to do a button. But
so I think visually it's a very obvious one, right? Like weight goes here when you have a giant square button sticking out of the ground, right? But yeah.
There's that too. Yeah.
Greg, help me.
What happened? Whoa. Oh, there you go.
Oh my god.
Gravity helped you out. That was beautiful.
Broken, Greg.
Oh, it was an ugly death too. They caught your chin on the
I got crushed by an elevator. It's because that's because the block got stuck on the edge. It wouldn't.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly off the edge yet, so it was still teetering.
I like how it's the block's fault.
Yeah, it's totally the block's fault. It should have known better.
Yeah, stupid blocks.
Stupid block.
That's why I never use blocks in games, man.
We should make these blocks smarter.
Yeah.
This is block phobia. Stop. This is block phobia.
Yeah. Oh no! I died. See, there's a.
Okay, why the characters just teleported back now? And
I think there's a.
Did you not ask for a checkpoint system like 10 seconds ago?
Yeah, but it's like, what?
So he didn't die. He didn't die. In the interest of making this not a 3-hour live stream trying to play a 10-minute level, it's forgiving when you fall in certain areas, and there's just places that would killed the player. If you die, it just reloads the level. But if you fall in certain areas, there's a fall volume to stop you from going to the ground.
That ship has.
Is there a reason you didn't put the fall volume everywhere under the level?
It is everywhere under the level.
Oh, so
I'm sure Gabe will find a spot where it isn't, because that always happens. Because I didn't have a chance to fall, because I don't actually fall when I play this level enough, because I play it all the time. But
well, and I think Greg's a much more skilled jumper generally.
I've also played this map like 200 times, so it's kind of. Gabe found that shortcut that I didn't even know existed, so I'll fix that.
I kind of like that the shortcut.
But
find it. Let people. I don't know.
The other thing, Alberto, is that the idea of the button. I think the button right now was a cheap shortcut for it, but I love the idea of like using weight in the game. If we have like physics objects and gravity, it'd be Nova moving a block onto a platform and like lowers an actual roped thing from one spot to another is kind of cool. And the mom Naomi has like a big metal suit that she wears, so she's naturally really, really heavy because of this like suit. So that could be open its way to some cool mechanics as well. But like you said, a button is kind of an obvious. As a gamer, you sort of be able to connect the dots.
That's like in game. There's a lot of things that are more prevalent in games than in real life. What's the last time you saw a barrel? You know what I mean? But lo and behold.
Yeah,
we're gonna have tons of barrels in this game because it's fun.
Yes. Oh, Brian's here. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hey.
Which Brian? I didn't see it.
Grant.
Oh, Grant? The Brian? Oh my God.
The Brian.
Yeah, he's the Brian. He's the Brian number one.
Number one, Brian.
I would love to see Brian play this game in a month or so, when everything is in place.
Yeah.
I want to see him play and pick the game apart. He's nice though, right, Brian? You're nice. Okay.
Oh, a contest champion said he likes the lighting in this level, in this area.
Thanks. That's Brian. Hey, Brian. That's work in progress, but it's getting there. We really like the direction of the style. That tends to be done. Normally at this point of the game, there wouldn't be any visuals, right? So it's because we like to do things upside down. And I always like that conversation between art and design, how art can also give ideas to design and vice versa. But of course, makes things a little crazy sometimes, I could potentially ride this block. Can I?
Yeah, you totally can. Just climb on top of it and drive around.
Okay, so now I need to go down.
Yeah, a second. Yeah. Don't do it now, but I think you can.
You're almost dead.
Oh no.
Do I have any berries or anything?
No. This is the you're in master mode right now, so there's no healing.
Oh my god.
You get 5 hearts and everything kills you in 1 hit.
Okay.
This isn't a casual game.
It's not.
No, there will be the berries you're picking up are supposed to give you health
There
back.
you go. I'm the king of the block. I'm Jenny from the block.
There you go.
Yeah, stop.
Nice.
Okay, now it'll work.
You can do this. You can do this. Just don't jump off the edge because that will kill you. Use the ladder.
Oh, dead.
Wow.
Checkpoint, Greg. Checkpoint. No, I think I saw some berries in the beginning here. No,
there were some berries there. They just we have a new inventory system, and it hasn't been hooked up to use items and do health stuff. That's actually the next thing.
So I can collect the berries, but I cannot eat the berries.
You can't use them. No.
Oh my god! Give me a cheat code. Come on, man. Where's the? Yeah, this is the.
Oh, nice.
I have a bear. Why is so slow?
It's heavy, man. The cursor is very heavy.
I think.
Huh?
I think it might have something to do. That's probably also why your physics block is so slow. I think the tracking on the analog stick, the axis might be different. It might have a different. Usually, Unreal supports Xbox controllers, no problem. PS controllers, no problem. But for some reason, it doesn't like Switch. Like all the button mapping on Switch is backwards, whereas every other controller is fine.
So you're saying I should buy a PS5, right?
You can buy a PS4. Don't buy a PS5. It's not worth it.
What? I'll wait for the PS6.
Or PS6, yeah.
Okay, so I cannot eat berries. Okay.
No, you can just look at them.
They're devil tooth berries.
Don't jump from here, man, because that's what's eating your health. Like.
There you go. Yeah, just proceed cautiously.
So what's up with the slow motion there? Like, is there like a that moment? Like, do you have a slow motion volume there, or is it something that like game controls like slow motion?
No, it's part of the moment.
I put a slow motion volume there for dramatic effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's to give you false confidence in your jumping skills until you get to this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, you also have to remember that technically, as this is the dungeon, the first dungeon in Zelda, this is actually challenging the player's skills. This isn't a tutorial. This isn't like, hey, welcome to the game. It's all nice and casual. This is meant to be difficult. So that's why it's a bit more like, you're doing big jumps and there's challenging stuff here because this isn't the beginning of the game. This is really the end of the first playable.
Yeah. Why am I think? Yeah, my drone is out just to see me die.
There you go. See, jumps no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna dance on your graves, stupid robots. No, they're friendly. Okay. Seriously now, I'm gonna be like a pro.
Why don't you switch to Naomi? Play with her for a bit.
Oh, but there's
just
nothing
run around.
in the
Just
world.
run around.
Okay, this is the future. There's nothing in the future. It's like
Future is all a black texture.
The world became a gray block. So this is supposed to be the sea, right? There's only.
Yeah, right now it's a gray cube, but eventually it'll be the sea. Yeah.
So everything is flooded on her side. So there's
Yeah.
not much she can do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a scope
top
thing.
of the mountain. Oh my God! This is the end of the world. Look at that. What happened if I jump? If I die as Naomi?
Try. Well, you'll start the level again and play from the beginning.
Yeah,
if you want to do that, go ahead. I mean,
no, back to the past.
Yeah.
Like, it's the type of test we're not going to learn anything. Like,
yeah, no.
So getting Naomi's game plan is going to be next.
Naomi's still trying to put in. Get out because she's around here somewhere.
There we go. Oh yeah, because she's closer to your The camera system is definitely a place where having an engineer would be amazing.
Yeah, if you're an engineer and you watch
and have some free time in your hands and want to help us for high fives, that'd be fantastic.
Berries. Why I can't shoot?
Try
the thing has tracking on it. It has tracking and homing on it, so I have no idea. Usually when players play a game, they get progressively better. Somehow you've managed to get worse. There we go.
He's getting the jump right every time now, man. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he has gotten much better at that.
But then his aim is like decreasing to counterbalance.
Yeah. We do have, well, in Unity we had it. We don't have it implemented yet in Unreal, but we had target lock, so you had hold L, Z targeting basically, which really helped. We'll get that in. It's on the list of features.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with it has to be the analog stick sensitivity, because it's that's fine.
Yeah, everything feels really.
It's very very sluggish. I mean, it's meant to be heavy, but at the same time, this is slow and kind of painful.
It's really heavy.
Yeah.
It's solid gold.
It's made of gold.
And I still add my own weights to it.
Yeah. Just because you don't want to run back.
Yeah. I want to run like a sucker.
Okay.
Oh, Brian's got a question. How does the world look? Like you mentioned Zelda, is it comparable in the way that there is an open world with dungeons and or levels to play through?
It's bigger.
It's bigger. It's 5 times as big as Zelda. Yeah, it's like 3 times the size of Breath of the Wild. Kind of like Grand Theft Auto, big, all connected, seamless. Imagine like this kind of contained level here, but there's multiple ones of them connected to each other. So it's kind of like going from one zone to another.
Have in mind that I'm not even like a quarter the way through because I suck. There's more, and
yeah,
I just need to get there.
Yeah, you can get to the crane, the factory, the lower village. There's a bunch of stuff.
I think
So let me expand on that question a bit as well.
Please.
Because on those areas like this one that you're saying, like this is equivalent to like a dungeon, like those are usually more linear because you're solving puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that, do you guys intend to be like for the areas to be connected, as in like you keep going back to areas and then go, or it's like area 1, 2, area 3, or 4, or 5, like.
Now you go back to it, but they're kind of abridged, right? So if you walk outside of this to the desert, it's not immediately next to it. It could be a mile away from it, but there is a map, but it's like rooms, right? And the rooms can be really far away from each other, but when you teleport from one to the other, you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's more just like for like an artist concession, so that the end of one zone doesn't have to match up exactly with another.
Yeah.
So, and then the intention with the other ones, so that they might be less involved and puzzly than this, but the goal there is to have like an event system, so that when each time you come back, something different is happening. Different NPCs spawn, different enemies spawn, different things spawn. So every time you revisit an area, there's a chance for discovery and something new.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do this. You can do this.
Because our team is a bit smaller than Zelda's, so it's a
Yeah.
tiny bit. Oh, come on!
Oh, we got another one. We figure that out. From Unstable Gamer. Do you have a definitive end to the game yet, or is that still being determined? Curious about how many hours you expect a player to commit to for clear story versus completionist clearing.
Oh, I don't want to get screwed. Yeah, the game. The idea is the game is relatively short, a few hours for the completion of the main story. But we want a lot of things that people can do over and over, like collection, discovery, and other things. So once we build this game, there'll be a lot of room for expansion too. We want to build the world to be reusable for us, so we can create new missions, new areas, and stuff like that. But the main story is concise, to put a word in it.
Gabe, also you can rotate the cube with L and R if you want to. I noticed you haven't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the cube's rotatable.
Oh. Should put that in the menu.
If you're not good at jumping, you might get an extra couple of hours of playtime too.
I have $5 saying the game's just gonna fall randomly now.
With 2 hearts left.
Yeah.
Oh, the rotation
to push itself off the ledge. There you go.
Helps.
Yeah, and again, it's faster on PS4. I don't know why the axis sensitivity is different.
Yeah, it's really weird. Sticky. It is sticky. Okay. That'll be the last. I want to see that cube.
Stop. Yeah.
We're almost there.
There you go. Woof.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
That's a hard game. I like hard games though. That's good. So now I'm in this machine that brings the cubes. Yeah. More cubes.
More cubes.
So now that I know what to do, what should I do? Let me look at this machine and see what's going on.
Just don't stand in front of the cube.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, so it goes to get crushed into the machine. So I need to control the cube. Or potentially I could ride this elevator and see what's on top there.
You could do either.
Step number 1 would be like anytime you have like an item in a game just getting destroyed constantly, it's like take the cube out of destruction and now have a cube, right?
Yeah.
To work with. Like
yes.
Like you want to get the cube out of the
This would be interesting. Oh, did you just
it's gonna be too slow.
No, wait. Did you break it? No, you shouldn't have broke it. Did you break it? You may have broken it.
Break what?
Game. We'll see. Can you fire your drone?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. All right. I forgot if I.
That's a good question, actually, for design. Like, can you actually?
Can you snatch the cube away?
Or can I lose my drone and then suddenly I have to buy another one for 99 cents?
I think you just answered your own question. Hell no, we're not doing that.
So okay, I know what to do. I have to do this, and
there you go.
I have to move this guy up so it blocks the way of the cube.
There you go. Then you jump in the crusher, and then
yes, I jump in the crusher.
Special reward. Glad you figured that one out.
I mean, you don't have to do anything right now. Just gonna stop there.
Okay, good.
All right.
That's good. Stop.
Yep.
And now the machine's going to stop throwing cubes at you for some reason?
No, still gonna throw cubes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so I have to wait then.
No,
But-
you don't. If you want to progress, you have to move the cube.
Yeah.
And
No, but there's 2 cubes. I have double my chances.
okay.
Do they crack?
I mean,
They...
you could probably wait until it just makes like a bridge for you, and then you jump on the thing,
So
jump on the
because the
cube.
cubes are breakable, the idea was, again, it's not in quite yet, even though we have the fracture technology. Yeah, you can throw like a couple glass cubes in later and show people have them breaking because it's pretty cool. But when the 2 cubes hit each other, they'll shatter and break. Just right now, they're blocks and not beautiful fractured chaos objects.
And if they move faster, I can.
All right, I'm gonna make
There
it.
you go.
Whoa!
I set the cube up. Oh, that's crazy.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, physics.
I mean, yeah,
Low
you jump on the
gravity
key
cubes.
first.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Can you do it fast? Oh, I was gonna say, so it shows you.
Okay, so I'm
I
hidden in
did-
grass now. There's tons of robots there.
I did make a platform cannon in my gym on my machine, so it
Can
does
they
launch
see my
platforms.
drone, my stupid drone?
So right now they can that guy is just there to show intention. So this is the second sort of stealth area where you're trying to reach, and this is where the camera cuts are going to be important. That open door right there, to get past that
Oh.
guard, so he'll be patrolling the area. For now, you just run past him and he totally ignores you. But
I Scooby-Dooed myself to the second floor.
good
What's
job.
up with the boombox robots?
They love music.
Well,
Remember?
They like music.
But they just play music, like.
Yeah, they communicate with each other through vibration, so they use the boombox to the bass too. Is there anything here that I can collect? I like collect.
No, I didn't have time to add collectibles here, unfortunately.
But now, and of course, those white cubes are just white cubes. They're not gonna look like that in the game.
Yeah.
Just gray blocks. What am I doing?
Just keep rotating that. This is where having the lights on.
Is
the
the right
actual-
size or the?
Yeah, just there you go. It's coming.
Oh,
It's
there's
coming.
another one there.
It needs the lights on the platform to indicate that something's happening.
Yeah.
Again,
Ooh, I like that. Now it's like roller coaster tycoon.
yeah.
No, well,
Cool. So in this part, so the narrative that's been going on through this whole thing is that this area, you're trying to reach the lower village where Naomi's trying to get you to go. This area is kind of only for workers, and so you're sort of not supposed to be here. And so some of the doors, actually all the doors, will only open for workers. And so this one here, there's a door right there that you're trying to get through. Right now it's unlocked because this isn't in there, but what's going to happen is you're going to go, and it's going to be a workers only door, and then you actually have to go backwards. Gabe, can you go back and sort of show the rest of the level? Because there's a whole you should be able to. Yeah,
The
you should be able
way-
to land on that pipe in front of you. Wait, that's a 4.
do you think
Wait.
I can do that?
Be able to live.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Can I jump on the like
No.
on the fan there?
I mean, you should be able to.
But I'm gonna lose my life.
I don't mean you should be able to.
It's not, that's not how it's gonna play out. Like.
Yeah,
He's gonna die, man.
I
gonna
prefer
die.
to go forward.
go for
Yeah.
it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Well, we can just, like zoom around the level later and show you. But there's another section where you have to actually go through the village, get past one of the warriors, and steal a costume, one of the workers' costumes, and you put the outfit on. You can actually now the scanner can now actually detect that it's you, and you can actually go in.
Like I said, everything comes from Scooby-Doo.
There was some yellow lines in the wall there. Are those for like grabbing? Like.
So in
Yeah.
Unity, we didn't have the vaulting that you can see now, that where Nova can grab everywhere, but Kedu, our designer that's helping us out, hooked up the system so it can do it. So you can basically grab any ledge basically any ledge you want to that's within like jumping distance. But we actually have like core metrics. It's 2.5 meters to mantle up, but you can also jump 1 meter high. So we have like a 1 meter step and then a 2.5 meter climb. So this is a whole crane puzzle. This is another puzzle that
So this
was
thing
working.
doesn't work. This big gear doesn't work.
What do you mean?
Does it?
It should work.
The big one?
Yeah, should work.
No, this one works, but
The big one should also work.
oh my god, my
should, I
legs are. I hate heights, even in video games. So I can move things here. This is a moment where somebody's gonna tell me what I have to do, right?
No, you're moving the crane. It's just moving very slowly. Again, there's something up with the axis.
For what though? Like that's what I mean. Like
okay. Well,
the story needs to tell you what you have to do here. Because
I mean, up until this point, we've been missing any kind of visual cues for the player what they're supposed to be doing next. So, yes, I agree with you. We have to explain to the player what their objectives are. But in this point, they're trying to reach that lower village that you can see down there where that guard is. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Originally, when you walk on the crane, you're not able to rotate it. The actual gear is locked behind a mechanism, and you actually have to go down using the crane and then navigate your way back up to unlock the crane and use it to then move over and drop yourself into the lower village.
If I go down here, I'm gonna die.
If you jump normally onto that block and land, you'll be fine. If you lower it down too low, it's going to kill you.
Oh, so can I jump through this white piece here?
The game.
Can you?
Exactly. Oh, you got it.
That's what I mean, man. There's people that land, and there's people that land and start running for no reason.
Panic. It's that panic. Like,
no, I was playing with the problem.
Anxiety.
I was playing with the problem is the controller. The buttons to run is A and to jump is B, and I have to hold B, A, and B. I bet in the PlayStation is a better configuration because I have to hold the controller like this, right?
Oh, because it's because you're. I see. It's in the way it's supposed to be mapped. It's actually reversed. So
exactly.
That should be much easier.
Right. So see, it explains why it sucks so much.
Can you run on the trigger? Would that be easier? Like as a button you have to hold down and like.
Can you run on a trigger?
What was that, Gabe?
I know I'm gonna teleport. I'm just.
Could you run on a trigger? That's weird.
I think it's weird. I would think like if we're thinking like if I have to run to jump, like the trigger on the left trigger, which is on the side of the movement. Right, it's very separate from because what Gabe.
Yeah, exactly. That would be better. Yeah,
having a coordination there because of the two buttons next to each other. You have to hold holding a face button while pressing another face button is weird to me.
Yeah.
Have you ever played?
Yeah,
that's like every Nintendo game does that. Are you kidding? Like Mario does that.
But because they didn't have triggers before, but
no.
Yeah,
Super Mario Odyssey, all the Mario, everything is two face buttons. It's not weird. That's convention. That's not even the trigger to run. That's weird.
But
click the analog stick.
I didn't realize that you guys were aiming at mediocre, like at what everyone else is doing. Then it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, I understand you playing mobile games. You're not used to the whole controllery thing, but
not used to buttons.
No, but honestly, like trigger to run is weird. If you want to do a sprint, you'd click the analog stick to run. You could do that.
People in the comments, please vote.
Oh yeah, please everyone vote. Trigger to run.
Like triggers or
that's how we should be making decisions, right? Design decisions.
How many people are watching? 3. So that we're gonna have a.
We got 9.
9. Oh, there you go.
9. There you go.
But am I crazy with the trigger to run? Because that sounds to me that would be like.
Yeah. See, there we go. No trigger to run, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a crazy suggestion.
Is not a feedback like that. Can a person expand?
I don't know.
I mean, I can
R3 to sprint. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, click the stick to sprint is fine. Button to sprint is okay. Trigger is. I can't even think of a game that would do that.
For me, anything that you have to click the stick, like this is for people that I don't know that have proper hand-eye coordination that you can actually move that you can control the directional and if you're clicking or not on the same finger. Like this is how I run off cliffs in every fucking game.
Right. I mean, we can always have a button.
Hold the controller here. I wanted to hold the controller here.
We can do button presets. Like there'll be like a default preset, and it can be one that's just called Alberto thought this was a good idea configuration, and there'll be a trigger. And if it's a hit, you get all the credit for it.
I actually think that all the buttons should be on the analog, and then like up, down, left, right is the triggers, right? And then it's like that would be the right way to play.
Can you make this game for the Wii? And it'll be all shaking the controller.
Yeah, you have to like
Totally.
You just
You can shake the Switch too.
Throw
yeah,
the
can do the Switch.
Unstable saying, could you use sensor control, move, walk slightly into further to sprint? Yeah, you totally could. That's my worry about that would only be that it's platforming isometric is already pretty challenging. If the trigger to run is an analog stick press, that could cause a lot of unintended sprints off a ledge, whereas the button is a commit, or like even a click would be a commit. But yes, like obviously pressing would totally work if you like the distance you press or the time you press would totally work as well.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm on the trigger camp myself, but it's mostly about the position of the buttons right now.
Yeah.
But
it's
just this. I didn't see the question, but was the person suggesting like pressing or just the sensitivity of like if you move a little bit, it walks, like Mario 64 introduced, right? Like if you move a little bit, it walks. If you move a lot, it runs, right?
Yeah.
That's my understanding, but I could be wrong. Unstable, if you want to clarify, please do.
Because that for me is better than having to press a face button to do it. But.
And this is actually where it'll be good to get in people's hands as well, because it's one thing to look at it and say this probably feels good. When you play it, you can tell.
I mean, when
I think we can never have like I think a lot of people will go one way and other people will go another way. That's why you have button configurations that you can change.
Totally. But the reason on trigger is just because I know what you're saying. That'd be that would take some teaching to get used to, because trigger is always like it's an action. It's either to shoot or to throw or
to run.
No, it's never to run. It's never a mobility
just throwing
thing.
verbs out there, man. Like...
No, it's never tied to mobility. It's tied to an action. So jump would never be in a trigger. Grab would probably never be in a trigger. Like, well,
roll wouldn't be in a trigger.
No.
Dodge.
No.
The trigger for me has always been a modifier more than anything. I like when you can hold the trigger and press other buttons. Other than shooting, of course, but
yeah.
I want my drone back.
I do like that we're talking about controls. That's fun. I'm glad we're talking about gameplay stuff. This is good.
Let's all go play Mario Odyssey. It sounds much more fun. I cannot use this letter.
No, the functionality to climb down the ladder has not been hooked up. Just the functionality to climb up. So you have to sort of there you go.
I blame Cadu. Where's Cadu?
He's moved back from Brazil and has no internet, so it's kind of hard to blame him for.
Cadu, are you here?
I mean, that makes it easier to blame him because he cannot defend himself.
That's true. He's not here.
Yeah, he moved back to Canada and tried to get the internet. But TELUS, if you don't know TELUS, you should not know TELUS, because they take a week to hook up your internet.
I agree.
Shout out to TELUS.
Shout out to TELUS.
You guys want to sponsor the game? Like,
no, I'm not gonna get sponsorship from TELUS.
Yeah. So their L&R rotate the drone. Those are modifiers to the drone movement. So yeah, like Unstable saying, the modifier makes total sense.
Okay.
Trigger for inventory screen as well.
I mean, that's weird to me.
Yeah, because you don't use it that much, and not in a timely kind of, unless the game asks you to use an item really quick.
Quick item I could see.
Yeah, like stuff that you're shooting in general, or like you have the quick action, like it makes sense. The modifier, especially anything related to left and right, like we have right now, rotating left, clockwise, counterclockwise, that's something that makes sense on the triggers.
Yep.
Inventory for me is just it's a binary open unopen. like you don't hold the inventory, like you're not gonna hold the inventory open, right? Like you press a button to open, press a button to close, right? So like those for me don't belong on a trigger.
Yeah, you could argue that Breath of the Wild has the hot inventory. That's not inventory screen. It's hot inventory, quick access inventory.
Yeah, because you need
quick access is different, right? Yeah. But you're not opening like
quick select is what. Yeah, unstable meant quick select. He didn't mean like the inventory screen. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, inventory screen.
also
I need to hold it, like for example in Zelda, like I need when I'm about to shoot an arrow, I can hold the modifier to attach something to the arrow really quick, right? In the middle of the battle. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of it for me also like obviously going to depend on like how many actions and what many you guys have in the game and which ones are they, right? Like to see what makes the most sense to which button, right? Like
the other thing to consider too is that you have to also remember that you're playing 3 different characters.
Yeah.
And so there has to be, not all characters will play the same. They will all play differently. Like Naomi's a combat character. She's not a stealth character. So there needs to be at least a similarity to controls. Like if there's a dodge button for Nova, there needs to be a dodge button for Naomi. There's a modifier for button Nova, it should be a modifier. They'll do different things, but they will still have the same function. So you're right. It's what controls we have, but also we have 3 characters that have different actions, and what are they doing?
Yeah, it should be some kind of unifying. Oh my god,
that's fantastic. I wonder how that's happening.
Because of the mass. The mass.
Oh, that was awesome.
The mass of the cube is too little.
It's like the recent change to Gran Turismo's tires.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody here plays that, but
I don't.
Funny.
What's the recent change to their tires?
They did some physics changes or something like that to the tires, and it messed up a lot of things. And there's a ton of videos now showing like just cars at the starting line bouncing because of it.
I think that's on brand for Gran Turismo. Those super inflatable tires.
Yeah, I think they did a sponsorship with Michelin, and then it messed up a lot of stuff, and so it's been all over the streams because my other half likes to do sim racing. He mostly plays ACC.
Oh yeah, he's trying to kill me.
That's okay. Just just don't let him see you. Go behind him. Don't go in front of him.
Huh?
Yeah, stealth mode.
Man, oh man.
Where?
It's okay. You got past him. Luckily, he can't attack and do damage. That was funny.
Yeah, just wait till all the enemies are hooked up.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this will be a 4-hour stream. Okay. Oh, Unstable has a question, and it's a good one. Weird question. What are your thoughts about mini games in a game? Is this a general question about mini games, or do you mean in our specific game?
Can we define mini games?
I like it. I think it's.
Or can you give an example specifically of what you mean? I can imagine what you mean, but just for
just make sure we're on the same page. I'm assuming
exactly.
Like BioWare hacking type of like Bioshock hacking. Sorry,
the pipes, right?
Yeah, like it's like completely unrelated. Like it's related, but completely separate gameplay in the middle of a game for some reason, right?
Right.
Yeah. But let's just
if
make sure
it makes
that's
sense in the progression of the game. For example, if you go to this door here and you have to pick a lock, that will make sense in the context of the game to have a mini game like that.
Totally.
So that kind of thing, I think is fine. And we planned a few things.
Yeah. Like that giant crane you saw, we wanted to be able to come back and reuse that. It's not like a one-off thing. You have a giant crane, so.
Okay, so.
There's a crane mini game.
Do you want me to jump?
So now you can. I would, if you want to go see the end of the level, I would go back, take the crane, rotate it slowly because your Switch Pro controller has a weird calibration issue, counterclockwise, so you get the arm almost touching the because right now the crane will eventually have like degrees will lock into place, so like it'll lock in at 10 degrees and 45 degrees. Right now it's just free swing, so you can't quite tell where it goes. The reason about that isn't to limit the player's control. It's because it's really hard to get a sense of perspective in an isometric game. So I want to make sure the player knows. But
with no isometric.
Huh?
With no isometric.
Top down?
Yeah, this is not isometric.
No, it has perspective. In
Imagine
a way,
it has
that,
to be 45 degrees in each angle, so it would be like.
So
Okay,
what should I do? Move this
Use
way?
shorthand. I'm sorry. So go back and take on the big crane.
Go back?
Yeah, just keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
You said counterclockwise or clockwise?
I did say counterclockwise.
So this way then.
That's clockwise.
That's clockwise. People, can you vote? Can you vote in the
That's
comments?
counterclockwise.
If you think that's clockwise, vote in the comments.
Oh, now we're going clockwise.
Now it's clockwise. Which direction you want me to go? This way?
I think Greg, I think you might have a delay on the video.
Okay, that might be it. Okay, head up, which to me
you're going
is
the right way.
Counterclockwise.
North, like
am
from
I
the
going
screen,
this way? Am I going the right way?
Yeah.
I probably have a delay on the screen. Sorry, that makes more sense now. I was
Okay.
like, how?
I'm like,
are we...
why is Greg not getting the they're so off? Like,
do I have to get a Sharpie and draw on? Yeah.
No.
So keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Trust me. Keep going.
Well, Gabe does that. Just to go back to the question of the mini games, right?
Oh yes.
Because personally, like, I think the mini games are great when you want to do something that's like your character in the game is doing something completely different than the rest of the game was. So it's like, I think like even like the hacking, even though it gets old really quickly, but like the hacking on BioShock, that it's like you are walking around, you're shooting, you're looking around. Now your character is like focusing on one thing, trying to hack.
Yep.
It's like, it's so like what you're doing in the game is so out of place with the rest of the game that the mini game makes sense. That completely breaks the thing. Like even like Fallout 3, you have the hacking, you have like a bunch of the little like.
So no hacking, I understand. No hacking.
Yeah,
you
but
don't
it's
like
like
hacking.
you were walking around shooting stuff in an open world. Now you're sitting in front of a computer trying to hack something. Like, it makes sense to completely break the gameplay. So I think like, but the problem is just like they usually get old very quickly, right?
Now I kind of want to do it. Is that wrong? After you said it, like, I want to have like Nova fighting robots and dragons, and then she has to knit.
Yeah, but if you do something like that,
man.
you have to have a different, like, having a button for knitting, like, would be like, it has to be a completely different thing, right? Because like your character is having to get in a completely different mindset. Like, I think to completely, when you're doing something that completely breaks from the game.
Trigger-based knitting. It would be trigger-based knitting, left and right.
Yeah. No, you don't use trigger for knitting, man. That's like a golden game design rule.
So, Greg, am I
Yes.
far enough? Am I?
I think you're far enough now.
Can you just walk there now?
Now you can try to shoot that gear and try to lower that block. If it doesn't work, then
okay, I'll shoot the gear. Okay, hey. What? Do I have to jump to the block?
no, just can you lower the block with the L and R triggers?
I can.
Okay, so jump on the block first. Yeah.
That's the hard
boy.
part.
It it's isometric, so
Oh my god,
Such a bad
I'm
job.
glitching.
wow,
I'm glitching.
Right
Yeah.
into the trampoline.
I wonder what happened there.
Enough of that. I'm gonna actually show the rest of the world.
And that's how we're gonna get 300 hours of gameplay.
Exactly.
Oh, while you switch over, Gabe, Brian wants. Can you explain how, or Greg or anybody, can you explain how you access the 3 playable characters a bit? Like, can you swap at any time? Set characters for each level, puzzle elements that allow temporary control of other family members.
Yeah, I can answer part of it. For the cadence of it is determined by the mission and the stories. You start playing as Nova, and then you have to discover what happened to the rest of your family. So Nova, and then Naomi, and then Niles as you progress. Wow, my phone started playing a song called Nova. Computers. So as soon as you unlock, you start needing what those characters can bring to your progression, right? So Nova has her own abilities, but she's stuck in this time, and then when she finds out about Naomi, she'll need Naomi and Naomi's abilities to unlock things in her own time. So yes, you start unlocking the characters slowly, and then after you have the three of them, the plan is to have more and more missions where you need all three of their abilities working and evolving to get to the next level. So yeah, you'll be able to switch back and forth. We try to make it something that you can do as much as possible, but unfortunately, you can do all the time because we want to be able to craft a lot of different puzzles that maybe you need dad and daughter and not Naomi. Naomi will only get in the way, or vice versa. So some parts of the story will demand you to play it with a certain characters or the other, so you won't be able to switch. The conceit for that is that the signal, the kin shifting can only be accessed um, in certain areas. When you walk away, it's like a cell phone, right? You walk away, the signal of the Kinshft is too weak, so you won't be able to use the abilities of the other two characters unless you change the situation and make the Kinshft strong in that area. Which we're using this metaphor of a tree. When you plant the seed, the special tree will grow in the area, and it's almost like you're having a cell phone tower. You know what I mean? Now you'll be able to access the other two characters. So we're trying to control carefully when you can use the characters. In some areas will be completely free. You can switch back and forth and explore in 3 different times. Others will be limited because the story will demand. Maybe Greg has something to add to it, but
yeah, I mean, part of it too is we're trying to also figure out like what's the correct cadence of character switching, because you sort of have like two extremes. One where the game we don't want to definitely make, where you play one character for an hour, finish a task, then switch to another character, because then it's just two different games that are being played back to back. The other extreme is Nova enters the level. She walks up to a door. Oh, the door is locked. Now I have to switch to Naomi, and she has to go forward in time and actually blow up the door. And then Nova can go through, but now she has to go get a ladder, and like this constant back and forth. That's going to be too much. So part of building this gameplay here too is figuring out like what's the cadence that feels good. That's I've played this character for a bit. I've accomplished a goal, and now I hit a roadblock, and now the other character has to jump in. So actually, what's happening? The part that Gabe just ended up at. Before he fell off the block was that lower village area, and actually Nova gets to a door that she cannot unlock to progress, and then you have to jump back to Naomi, and then Naomi actually has to go across the oil sea. There's some platforms there. The actual crane has fallen into the water, and she has to fight those dogfish to actually reach the lower village on the other side, then go and find the door code for Nova and get a door code back to her. So Nova has a considerable chunk of gameplay first, then Naomi jumps in and she has her chunk of gameplay. And it's a nice breakup too, because Nova's a bit more like exploration, platforming, a bit more stealth, whereas Naomi's just go in and bash the stuff, the crap out of people and have fun.
Yeah. It has to be meaningful. Like the moments where you change the past and change the future.
Yep.
We want to have moments like when you finally lock the ship, for example. This is the ship, by the way, is right here, and the ship in the future starts floating again. We want that moment to be earned and to be like even visually interesting. You see the ship coming up. We call it the Back to the Future moment with the picture. When you see your family coming back in the picture. You know what I mean? Like when you change the past. So it cannot be all the time because one would be too taxing for an indie team to make so many moments like that. I have to build an incredibly complex world with 3 different levels. But the other way is not happening often enough, like Greg said. You'll be playing with Nova for like an hour and then Naomi, and then so the whole time thing kind of breaks a little bit. It becomes like a more conventional game. So yeah, finding the balance is our mission right now. So this is the level, right? You see me go through this very skillfully, and then cross. This is the machine part where the blocks are, and Pedro is building this whole machinery right here. There's places to explore here. If you decide to ride this elevator, go up here. There's a whole area to explore here too. And this is the plaza where you've seen lately going up, and then there's more areas here. This is like a factory area. So there's a lot of places to explore. I want to have collectibles and things to find, and then you go through the whole crane area. This whole gray block area here is the crane, and it's a puzzle in itself. It's kind of like the focal point of the level. You do that to cross to the other side to the lower village, as we call it, and this is like still needs to be built. And this final area here, where the red blocks are, it's an abandoned casino. It's a Buddha-inspired, very garish Las Vegas style casino that's been abandoned. And this is where the boss fight happens. And we're not ready to talk about this one now, but this would be like a classic boss fight with the characters collaborating across time. One character will be in the moment fighting the boss, and the other will be supporting, helping create the best conditions for the other character to actually defeat the boss. That's the idea. So this is a chunk, like, I don't know, I think it was Brian who asked, like, the size is a continuous world or no. Yeah, this is like a chunk, right? This would be a chunk.
Like one zone kind of thing, yeah.
And then if you go this way, the bottom of this road, you load into another place. There'll be full of other things to discover, to go to. But then in the future, it'll be like, oh, now I have to go back to the robot village because there'll be something else to do or some other things to discover. So you go back and forth.
Yeah, there'll be, I mean, in the lower village area, there'll be actually, like, quest givers who will give you quests that you have to do outside of the village and come back again. So, this area is going to be really, really a lot of fun. The back area is not done yet. It's still in super early rough gray block, but we'll get there.
We're getting there. We're getting faster and faster. Now that we are more accustomed to Unreal.
I mean, for 7 weeks getting us to this point, I think we're doing pretty good. I think we got a good cadence going.
And this whole area, after we have the story, after we have like the dialogue, have all this whole chunk. The intention is to give it to people to play. It'll be kind of like a mini demo of what the game is, so you guys can have your hands on it and try it and say it's the worst game ever or not. And we all welcome this kind of feedback because we've been into it for a while and we start losing objectivity. We need people on the outside to have some time with it and see if it's fun. And so this would be it. This would be the first mini playable that we're doing.
Oh, there's a story question from Unstable Gamer. Do we know anything about the brother yet?
What's that?
Do we know anything about Nova's brother yet?
Yeah, I do. No, yeah. The whole thing with the brother is the main quest of the game, right? There were 4, and now there's 3. What happened to the 4th? And during the story, you start, realizing there's much more about this world that is connected to your brother missing and what happened there. That's all I can say. There's a story there, and that's the end goal. Right?
Secret scroll stuff. Yeah.
I think also if you follow us on the socials, we're posting Nova's logs, and we'll start giving you hints and more about the story of getting to when you start gameplay. But we got to take you on a journey first.
Yeah. Nova, we start like showing little bits of the trip through the solar system, and through the eyes of this young girl that's really like, she loves it at first, but then there's tension with the family, but then they have to resolve their problems and get to a better place. That's part of the emotional journey of the story too. So it starts through her eyes. She's starting to do this like vlog and sending back to Earth about what is the life of exploring the solar system with her family and stuff. I think it's gonna be pretty cool to introduce it until tragedy hits and then the game starts. and then you'll be used to the characters. Use a little bit of what makes them tick and the personalities, which is funny because it's being developed as we speak. Usually a lot of game companies or movies or whatever, you have like a really solid script of the story before you even start making anything. This is an experiment of like, how can we make things in front of everybody and develop things and changing things. And it's been very exciting for me, especially doing the story, because you get the feedback as it goes, and then things are getting shaped by all the eyes that are looking into it. So it's an interesting thing that could crash and burn, but we'll see. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to make things that way. I bet Greg loves it, and Pedro. Pedro sometimes making an piece of really cool art, and then me and Greg's like, you know what? This thing should not be a block. It should be a triangle.
Yeah.
And then Pedro smiles and yeah, you're right, guys. Maybe.
But it's worse than that too, because we're sort of building new mechanics. Like when Cadu got mantle again, you could actually climb a certain distance. Well, now that the heights have to change a little bit because we can't do 2 meters, doesn't feel right. So 2.5 meters.
Yeah,
it's one of the challenges of actually being on an indie team is you don't have.
Yeah.
You can't. The ideal situation was we'd have everything built first, design is done, everything's grave locked, all the mechanics are in, everything's finished. Then Pedro could come and build art, but that will take a long time. So you have to kind of build them in tandem, and that's part of the challenge. And I definitely appreciate his patience and flexibility when we tear apart his beautiful work. Full of these white cubes that look like a 5-year-old.
It is a very different process, but it's not an invalid process. It's actually pretty interesting to see this dialectic process. Like one side has an idea, the other side, it would be even better. You know what I mean? Like, and if you have the wrong team, it can get pretty frustrating. People get, that's not how it's done, the process, blah blah. But like, I believe, and I think all of us believe that this kind of like chaotic process can yield something better and less run of the mill and way more interesting and new.
Yeah,
of course, there's more risk, right? So
yeah, can you go like zoom in on that back part of the upper village, like that back area?
Yeah,
like where the factory area, where the factory is now.
Oh, here.
Yeah, like that whole area back there, like above the courtyard, that was an L-shaped corridor. And then Pedro went in and decided to make this whole other explorable section. It's like, dude, we could put so much gameplay in here. And that was fantastic. And it happened because, he was able just to kind of go in and organically build the space. None of that existed in the original Gray Block. So,
and then suddenly I look at that and then I say, okay, what this area could be? Could be a temple area, it could be a factory. So sometimes the story comes last, and that doesn't mean the story is weaker because of that, because the team has this circular kind of dynamic, which is really good. So yeah, it keeps everybody's on their toes. You know what I mean? Instead of you sitting down and just doing your little part of the process, everybody needs to be really involved. Which is amazing. I really love the indie part of that. This kind of thing. Right, Alberto? You're an indie guy. Alberto, that's why I like Alberto when we're working together, because you always had that indie, you never had left the indie spirit. It's like, Alberto, it'd be cool to do. And then you get excited, and you ask why not, right? Instead of why.
I'm always like, the right process is the one that works, right? It's the one that gets the best results. Like, so it's like, you can't argue with results, even though project managers do all the time, but you shouldn't. So it's like, if it's increasing the quality and we're getting it done, like that's the process we should be doing, right?
Right. So yeah, and sometimes because I think games are art, and it can be art. Art needs more than talent or anything. It needs time. It needs like iteration. Like it needs to it needs space to grow and to evolve in its own pace. And a lot of the time, for good reasons. Somebody's paying the bills. So you have a big company and you need to reach this at this date. Doesn't matter if it's ready or not. And I've been in projects like that, wink wink, that we have a date to ship it, and the date is solid. You cannot change it even if the game is not quite there, and you have a feeling that it's not quite there. So we're not gonna ship this unless we're happy with it, right? The other side of the coin would be like the so-called indulgent developer that spends 10 years doing it. But we don't have that much patience. We're not gonna take 10 years to make it, but we want to make this product that will be happy and proud of it, and hopefully people respond to it and actually pay. And then we can keep doing it and the cycle continues. Does that make any sense? Or just like I'm just babbling right now?
No, I think we all agree on those things, right? Like,
totally.
They're not going to have anyone here being like, actually, I think we should like just waterfall the whole thing. Like,
we need more project managers. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what we're missing. Like,
sometimes I miss a project manager, like just because I wish I could spend all my time just doing the fun stuff. But it's been very educational to have to organize those things and look at the tasks, look at the size of the thing. It's like I want to see everything that's being built, every single little item in this list. Think about effects, and all of that, or music, or somebody has to do all of that. And in a bigger company, somebody does it, and you just worry about your own part. So it's being educational, but sometimes I miss having someone just feeding me like, oh, this is the test of the day in a neat list. You know what I mean? But I prefer to spend our budget in more artists or designers or programmers that will have their hands dirty in making this kind of world, right? So
totally. I also didn't mean to insult Unstable Gamer because he's a project manager. I didn't mean it that way, but it was more like when I was at EA and when I was at Ubisoft, like you always had like several project managers and all of them wanted to control the game, and that was really frustrating. And with the designers, you need someone to kind of rein you in. Otherwise, we would just never finish the game because it's always like it'd be really cool to do, and then that turns into like a feature that you couldn't have to happen. So
that's our biggest problem, right? Is like we need somebody, and I'm having to become that person sometimes. The ideas become so big, and you go, "Oh, let's do it." It's very easy to go into a tangent.
Yeah.
So I have to be that guy that this cuts the fun a little bit, but. I'm the first to want to do this all the time, but
I feel like we always have like clear goals, and that's why we are always like moving forward. And like if we had a producer, it would be good because we would be more organized, but it would stop the way that we are working right now, which is more organically, in more the producer is very good to keep things like production wise organized, but it stops the creativity because you need to deliver something at the end of the day.
You cannot pivot as much as you want.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
For good reasons sometimes, budget reasons, time reasons. But by the end of my tenure at Kabam, for example, I was getting yelled at more than I wanted to, because I'm that kind of guy. Like, I would just go like, this is so easy to do. Let's do this. It's gonna be like so much better. Let's try and find a really cheap and fast way to do it. But people are getting really inflexible because the projects are so big, and if you try to move that project, it's like moving that block in the game. You know what I mean? Like, now I want to go this way. There's no momentum, right? But for a small team like us, pivoting, as everybody's responsible, everybody knows what it takes to pivot something. So if we all agree, we'll do it, right?
But I think like a lot of our opinion in relation to the processes and stuff is a bit jaded from like big company. We all saw at some point a company we're in get bigger and get over process it, right? It's like
several times.
And usually you start getting to the point that it's like, unlike like if you get a producer or a project manager and then in the studio, like unlike what you would see in a big company, is like their job is not to keep the process working so they can answer upwards, right? It's like they would have to answer to the team. So you get a bit of a difference. Like I think that there is value to like, because they will be answering the efficiency of the project. It's like how good their job is related to like, okay, how much better are the results getting, which they have to answer to the team, right? In a big company, it's basically they just have to report up. So it's like they serve the process and not the game most of the times by design, right? Which is like a problem that usually happens when companies grow a ton and get it over.
And you get layers and layers of people that don't see the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very vertical, right? It's not like horizontal.
Upward management to start becoming the priority, right? Instead of like what's actually getting to the game.
So in a nutshell, guys, please give us jobs. EA, call us. No. We're just joking, isn't it?
Never again.
But one thing is also like when you have a team this small, it's hard to the cost, like the trade-off of like we can hire one more person, right? And you have like 5 people. It's like you probably need a programmer at this point, right? Or an artist. Like it's the same of like, at what point you hire your second audio guy, right? It's like you must either you're making a music game or you must have a lot of people already hired first to justify that, right?
Yeah.
I think like
that's in several studios, like at least that's my experience. The pillars of the development start getting spread too much, and you start filling the pillars with support. But then the formula kind of at some point the balance between people that really make a difference in the project with the people that are supporting those people, you end up being more support and less pillars, because it's hard to find people that can be rock stars in a game development. Like you usually have a few developers that like those guys can make the same game with a tenth of the team. They can do the same game by themselves. They don't need all of the extra people. But because the games start getting so big, you start to add a lot of support, and then people get lost a little bit. I don't talk to you anymore. I don't talk to Greg anymore because we're all in the different bubbles, right? So we don't know what we're doing anymore. So we depend on somebody in the center, a producer or EP or something, to tell us what we're building right now, because we don't know anymore.
Yeah, the bigger they get, the more the siloed the teams get sometimes, depending on the team.
Yeah.
Well, like Unstable Gamer said, because they're involved in a number of early access and beta games. How much control do devs have on the game versus what the company wants? I know each company is different, but how much weight do the devs and player feedback have? That's a loaded question.
Depends who you are, I guess.
Depends on the company too. Like,
it's I know I had a lot of say at Kabam and a lot of things, but there'll be other places that things will go into a black box and come back like, we can't do this, and I didn't know why. There is focus groups too, which I hate, by the way, but I know
everything. For passion as well. Like
consumer research is important, guys.
I know.
I agree with that sentence. Like the consumer research is important, right? It's just like focus groups. Like I think I've been part of 10 of those, like involved in 10 different ones in my life, and 9.5 of them is just like us misinterpreting what we saw. And just like he's still doing what we want to do anyway at the end, right? It's like,
or being like trigger happy and say, "Oh, see, that guy said that we shouldn't do this." Like,
I have yet to see one that made the game better, right?
Yeah.
But maybe I was just unlucky with those. But
the problem is, in general, like people, when you ask somebody a question, they'll answer. You know what I mean? Like if you're getting hired I don't know, you get $50 to sit in a room for 3 hours, and you're sitting there and nobody, and you're not saying anything, you're just sitting there. At some point, I'm gonna say I have to say something. Otherwise,
you need to have opinions, right?
It's I have to. They'll ask me. I don't have strong opinions about this, but if they ask, I'm gonna say it. So that's the problem. People tend to. It's like social media, right? You just go like, oh, everybody has opinions now because they can't have opinions, right?
So with that said, what do you think of the situation in the West Bank right now?
See, exactly, right? Yeah. So no, I almost answered because you left me. People wanted to be heard, right? So, and focus groups for me were like that, and I watched a few too, and it was like, yeah, those people don't really care either way. They just have to say something, and that's gonna make 100 devs pivot, because they're gonna think this is like an informed opinion.
Oh, this is a good question from Unstable Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it starts with loaded question. We're all family, right? As a content creator, I really don't want to be irritating to devs and game companies. What makes a good content creator from a developer perspective? And they say they have thick skin, they can take it.
For me, is do your homework, because I've been interviewed by people that they just said, okay, this guy's gonna attract some people to my channel, so I'm just gonna sit there and ask whatever, and they didn't know anything about what they wanted to ask. So I appreciate people like you and people like Brian. I think Brian is like, for the community, he's been the gold standard for a long time because he's an amazing interviewer. He does his homework and he asks the right questions. So it's kind of like the other day I was watching the Hot Ones, right? And I was like, what made that show so good? Is because of the hot thing. The hot thing is just a gimmick. It was because the guy who interviews it, that guy and his crew make a point of doing their research.
He's a surprisingly good interviewer.
So like when they come, they ask questions that nobody else asks. So I think that's for me the number one thing.
But I would say, like, it depends what we consider to be, like, what's your definition of a good content creator that way, right? It's like, because it's like not upsetting I don't know how high on the priority not upsetting the developers should be. But as Gabe said, right, it's like I feel like we all had YouTubers and content creators and stuff that we like hated. A lot of them I thought were good content creators. It's like people, as Gabe said, know the game, do their homework, are actually active, know what they're talking about. They just communicate like dicks.
You'll be amazed by how many people don't know how, like, that are video game content creators, and they don't have any idea how games are made. And so when they criticize the game, it's something that's so stupid. Honestly, that is like, you don't have no idea how this game, a game is made.
But so, how much? Sorry, go ahead.
No, so like if you know the basics, you know how to ask questions. Then you're gonna irritate the devs for good reason, because you're gonna find the actual problems in the game and not stuff that the devs have no control over or stuff like that. So
yeah, like tough questions are good if they're valid in that sense. Like I think there's some that tend to just be mean or do kind of like attack devs personally, which happens a lot in this industry, unfortunately.
Because
but if you're coming at it from a place of like curiosity, or even we knew too from being doing all those years at Comic-Con where players would come and ask questions about like, hey, really curious about why you made this design decision, and then you can start that dialogue asking sort of why, in a sense of like, how is this built? Is this intentional? And then it's also helpful for the devs when they get these questions, because sometimes they're getting feedback at the same time as you asking that question, right? So they might go, oh, are people struggling with this? Or people are using it that way. That's not how we intended it to be used. That's something that we need to take a look at, right? So I think there's a lot of, I think some of it comes down to like just respect between like interviewer and interviewee and things like that too.
And it does influence quite a bit the game. Like when somebody in a convention or something like that asks you a question that makes you think, you take that home with you, and it's the first thing that when you go back to the team, this is the first thing you say, like, look, that guy knows about the game and he played the game quite a bit. Look at that. Like he said that. So it does influence quite a bit. So,
Yeah, I would say like the main thing that I think a lot of content creators don't realize, and this is just the golden rule to keep in mind, like no one cares about the game more than the people making it, right? It's like when we were working on Contest of Champions, for example, like I remember like every single person, like it was like playing the game is like we're all into Marvel, we're all like living and breathing that thing, and half of the community think we're just like a bunch of money grabbing assholes that don't give a shit about the game and just trying to squeeze like the profits are going straight to us first of all, and like and it's like we don't care. We're like purposely being like this is going to make the game shittier, but it's going to make us more money, like which is like once you start getting like way higher up, this like people are not actually making the game; they're just people profiting from the game. Then it's different. But when you're talking about the people that are actually involved, like being in development, in community management, in marketing, like in the people that are like not like like C-level suite or anyone with like executive vice president, anything in their title. Even though Kelly, I don't know if you had at some point executive or VP or something, but
not quite.
Yeah, but it's like anyone involved on like something related, like things related to like making the game or promoting the game or marketing the game or dealing with the community. No one cares more about the game than those people, right?
Yeah.
So it's like anytime
most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you also like there's going to be. I think there is like a golden ratio of like that would probably someone should do a research on this. It would go from like preschool all the way to like fucking board of directors. There's going to be a ratio of like every 5 people have one superstar that does 90% of the work, 3 people that are just there to get their name on the assignment and do their bare minimum, and 1 person that does nothing, right?
And that person is gonna get promoted really fast.
No, but I think that ratio is like almost unbreakable. Like you can't make a team of 50 superstars because like they're not going to be superstars anymore. They're not going to gel. One of them is going to check out.
They're going to be like, I'm more superstar than you.
One of them is going to check out. A couple of them is like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm going to do my own. Like there is a golden ratio there of like
that was me.
Someone's going to check out. Like 20% of people are going to check out. It's like, I don't know, 20% is super involved and the other 3 are just doing their jobs, right?
So a lot of teams, if you have a team with 100 people, not everybody needs to live and breathe Marvel, for example, right? There's a lot of people in Contest of Champions that did great jobs, but their jobs was 9 to 5, and they would not take their work home. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just they're not the ones driving the process, but they're solid. They'll go like, oh, I have this guy that is an excellent modeler. He doesn't know Superman from Spider-Man, but every time knocks out of the park.
I mean, that's pretty bad.
I don't care if that guy breeds Marvel. Like we just found out that Pedro the other day don't care about superheroes, but like shocked. But he's an amazing artist. Like, and he understands when I say something to him. He say, "Oh yeah," and he runs with it and he makes it better. So yeah, in a bigger team, there's always gonna be people that are there for different motivations, but yeah. Some people,
even if you hire like the 50 best people in the industry and you put them together, like 10 of them are going to check out, like for sure. Like I don't think it's maintainable to have a ratio where everyone's a super like. But going back to the points, like regardless, like even if people like don't care about superheroes or don't like dragons or whatever, and are working on the show. The people working on stuff is usually like it's going to be in general the people that care about it the most. So it's like anytime if there was an update and it broke the game, the people involved on the update are going to be pretty upset. They're not just laughing like, "Oh, I made a bunch of money and fuck the players," right? It's like we all care about the shit we're making, right?
Yeah. But like controversy is the money making of the internet right now, and like people that are really well read, will really good interviews or content creators. Sometimes they're getting less clicks because they don't have the controversial takes. Kabam's trying to destroy the game. Like Kabam makes $1 billion of the game. Why would they want to destroy the game? But if you put that in the cover of your video, you're probably gonna get more clicks because people like that kind of controversy take the hot takes. So it's unfortunate that it has to be that way. But people like Brian, for example, always being very well balanced without having to be this angry kind of persona, and still got the followers and got the clicks, and he's a billionaire right now. Right, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, he wanted to know about focus groups. So, Brian, to answer your question about that, and I don't know if anybody here has ever been on the focus group side of it, but yes, basically, sometimes they're in special rooms where one side of it there's like a mirror, like the police interrogation mirrors. So, and has the focus group is in there talking to the moderator. The other side, usually there's members of the team. Sometimes the team's there in person watching it live. Sometimes you're watching it through a video feed. And what that enables it is so that as the team is watching the answers come in, they can send questions to the moderator if they need, further clarification. If somebody said something like, oh, I don't really understand what they mean by that. Can you dig a little bit deeper here? The hardest part with, that is how the moderators ask questions and things like that. Because if you do it really badly, people will like lead to the answers and things like that, which you don't want. You want them to come organically. But a lot of other research too is you can have other types of play testing happening where players play the game and then they fill out a survey afterwards. Focus groups are kind of specific to having people like in person, hands-on. Some of that too is to watch their reaction while they're playing, not just answering questions afterwards and things like that. So there's a lot of cool. This is me getting into my like consumer research nerd hat right now, but I've been through a lot. Most fun I've had in focus groups is with kids. When I worked on Club Penguin, those kids are like super honest and they do not care. Like we got art directed by the kids. Like we got art directed by a 6-year-old. It was great.
Yeah, they don't know, right? So they will say it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the best answers.
They're brutally honest. It's good. Oh, another one from Unstable Gamers. How about community managers? Where do they fall in the hierarchy? Are they strictly a go-between between the community and the devs? Is there more to that role? I think community managers definitely don't get as much recognition as they're deserved. While most of the players know them, probably more, familiarly than some of the devs and things like that. I think in game companies sometimes they're not valued as much, but these are people who are in the trenches talking directly to players. And I know at Kabam too, we had some great community managers, and they would actually be involved in design meetings. They were involved in a lot of meetings, with the direction of the game, planning out new features and things like that, because they're kind of the voice of the player to some of the devs if they're not in the forums or in Discord constantly, right? Or they're there to kind of say, hey, like last time we did this, it caused a big uproar. Maybe we shouldn't do it again, or maybe we should do it differently. Here's all the feedback that we got, and they can kind of go back and collect that for the team if it's needed. They can keep the team updated with, how people are reacting to new stuff, or even, if you do a nerf, players going to tell you about it. So, they're pretty important. And they also I think, the unsexy part of their job too is they have to make sure those communities and they have to try their hardest to keep those communities constructive and not necessarily positive, but like they gotta ban people sometimes, because sometimes there's really shitty people that come into these channels that spew hate and stuff like that, and then they get kind of blamed for being too strict or things like that. But it's all to make sure that the community is also a safe space.
Yeah, I always felt really bad for Jeet and other people, because take that every day.
They
It
take the
takes
brunt
a
of
toll on your
all the
sanity
anger.
sometimes.
Yeah.
All this anger, and they'll take it out on you because you're the face of the thing, right?
And it's like it's pretty like it's pretty bad to see like how when we're having meetings, when we're trying to design features and figure out, they are the voice of the players. But when they interact with the community, they are the ones that get all the blame for everything. It's like I remember my first update on Contest of Champions, I fuck up royally one thing, and we got like in one day 96 pages of people on the forum like fucking complaining, and none of the complaints were towards me. Like no one knows, like and it's something I think Jeet told me that like this is not gonna go well with people, and then he's the one that have to defend it and talk to people and get the feedback, and everyone blaming him like he's personally put that in game, right? It's like
maybe they should. Maybe the community manager should actually name. It's all Berto's fault.
Yeah, here's his phone number, like here's his Instagram, but it's like they're usually the people they're like trying as much as possible to voice the players, the community opinion in the meetings, and at the same time they want to have to get the shit from the players, right? Like it's pretty ungrateful like job in a lot of cases, right?
Yeah, you have to have a really thick skin, and yeah, I've seen times too where it's gotten rough in those channels, and you kind of just look at them and it's like you need to just step away and take a day.
Step away from the keyboard.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking because they also care a lot about the game, and they play the game just as much, or if not sometimes more than the devs do too.
They need to know the game intimately, right?
Yeah.
About stuff. Yeah. So yeah, community managers. One day we'll have one.
Yeah.
No, Kelly is our community manager.
Kelly's our community manager.
Oh man, I'm trying, folks, but I'm not as good as people like Jeet.
No, what Kelly's trying to say is she's gonna be in the forums every day now, from 9 to 6, so you guys can stop by and.
Yeah, and I will tell you exactly who made that bad design decision.
Yes.
I will name names.
It's a new way of making games now, like to be full personal responsibility for it.
Yeah. We're gonna drop everyone's phone number on the on the comments of the video. And if you guys have a problem, listing each feature, each update, like who broke it. It's usually Greg. Just help write his one down because that's where 90% of the problem.
Here's my address. Come on by. We'll talk.
And the more money you make, the more you're gonna be responsible. We'll be like the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Will be the one
if compensation had any relationship like whatsoever with accountability, this industry would be so different, man.
Yeah.
Any industry, really.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Like if compensation and accountability went hand to hand, it's like
look at us, a bunch of jaded devs.
That's why you go indie, man.
So we can complain. Cool. I guess we're being 2 hours doing this. We could go for a long time. Is there more questions? No. Good. Nice. I'm worried about
that drawing turned bloody like really quickly.
Not blood. It's fire.
Is it fire or is it blood?
Fire.
I thought it was blood for some reason.
Am I that bad?
It could be either. Maybe it's both. Maybe there's some blood and fire going on.
Blood. I like your reference. Let's talk about the finale of House of the Dragon. Spoilers. No.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Nothing happened. Like you can just skip the episode and you're good to go for the next season. Like.
Well, there's some cool foreshadowing.
Oh, it's spoiling.
For like
it basically just
years
told
in
you
the
like
future,
that
we've all already seen.
There's dragons in it.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
That's all you need to know. It's
The
dragons.
dragons do stuff. They kill people, then they knit. Callback.
Okay.
Okay, so
Sorry, I was
which
just gonna.
of you coming? Huh?
I just have a question here for season 3 of House of the Dragon, because someone needs to be able to answer this. Like, if you haven't seen the finale or not caught up with the show,
No,
like,
don't.
have a good night.
No, don't spoil it.
No spoilers. No
You're
spoilers.
gonna get demonetized.
Is like the next season should have one episode because it's so unbalanced right now. The situation, like throughout the 2 seasons, was very like
No, but
the balance of power was like, oh my god, like who's now it's just like, yeah, once one side decides like we're gonna attack, the war is over.
if you read the books,
I didn't because I'm not a nerd and I wait for the show.
okay, can I see the background of your picture again? Not
Those are his books for show.
Those are stickers. There's like nothing.
No, yeah, I think that, like I said, this season they lost. I think that's what I read. The budget got slashed, so instead of 10 episodes, they had 8, and so they had to cut a few things and put it for next season. I think the whole thing is only 4 seasons long. Then it's gonna end, right? So the whole
How many
thing.
years before Game of Thrones is this?
Like 300 or something
100,
like that.
200,
A couple hundred.
That's a lot.
something like that. I think there's another Game of Thrones spin-off coming too.
They had one that they did the pilot and decided to cancel as well. Like I think they were doing like 4 different Game of Thrones projects at the same time, like, to see which one.
It's about
And everyone knows that like J.R.R. Martin's not gonna finish any books anymore. Like he's not even. I don't even think he's writing anymore.
No, I think he's gonna. I think he already finished. He's gonna like.
He said that like ages ago.
He dies, and then he's gonna pretend he dies. He's gonna fake his own death, move to an island, and then release the books as a posthumous book. So everybody, oh my god, I need to read it now because he's dead, and he's gonna be like raking in the millions from.
Have you seen the guy? He's probably gonna be dead soon, man. That dude's not making like throughout all this, like finishing all the books on the speed that he writes. Is like
I hope
unless he has everything ready.
Because it proves that good art takes time. And on that note, thanks Alberto, thanks everybody. Greg already like decided to leave on his own. He's sick of it. Thanks Pedro, thanks Kelly.
Thank you guys. Yeah, it was awesome.
Everybody that showed up. We're gonna be doing those more regularly now. Even if we don't have anything, if everything is broken, it's fine. We'll do it anyway because we want this to be an open process, and we invite more interesting people. Now that we know that Alberto wasn't that great,
more interesting than me. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
can only go
more
up.
Interesting people. Like
But yeah, we'll keep doing that. And thanks for coming. Thanks for the support. And have a good night.
Yeah, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night, everyone. Yep.